collaboration and consultation to increase student academic performance, which we all know is a concern because that's one of the accountability points that all schools and school districts and states are looking for, that we report to the federal government that helps us get funding. And so we want to make sure that we're always keeping that at the front or the forefront of our mind when planning and working with students and our curriculum. So, one of the first things that we want to look at is, what is consultation and collaboration? Technical difficulties. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, consultation is the act of exchanging information and opinions about something in order to reach a better understanding or to make a decision designed for a specific purpose. This is where we would meet, we would collaborate. Again, you see it goes straight into the other term that is our focus. And so these terms go hand in hand in our process to ensure students are getting the information that they need, and that we're doing the proper things for the students to make them be more successful. Collaboration is the direct interaction between at least two co-equal parties voluntarily engaging in shared decision-making as they work towards a common goal. So again, one of the biggest things you see, common goal, there's a purpose, they're engaging in shared decision-making, meeting. So it's not something that you necessarily always do via email or things like that. Face-to-face is very important because it helps kind of get the creative juices flowing and helps you kind of have those tough discussions that you may not be able to have through email or in that virtual setting. So with collaboration and consultation, I think one of the biggest or most important terms, especially in collaboration, is two co-equal parties. Often when teachers meet with counselors, or counselors meet with administrators, or teachers meet with administrators, it doesn't always feel like two co-equal parties. And that's really what we want to embrace and how we want to move this process forward. It is not one person being over the other. It is a collaborative discussion where we are going to consistently be looking at the data and evaluating and reevaluating and just seeing how we both, or all, because it's really not just the teacher and the counselor, it's administration, it's the county office, it's the state level. Really, to make those systemic changes, we are all going to have to work together, consulting, which is talking, and then collaborating, which is kind of coming together to create that common goal and implement that common goal. We can create it, but if we don't implement it, it's not going to go very far. All right, so next in our presentation, my Prezi doesn't like me today. Maybe it's just the board. Okay. So some characteristics that go with consultation and collaboration that we always want to be aware of. Discussion and observation based. I already mentioned that. It's really important that we're always observing, not just other people, but ourselves. That self-observation is very important. And then discussion, being open to, it's not about flaws, it's not about doing something wrong, it's about, is there a better way to do this? Could we tweak it a little bit and get one more student on board, or increase the performance of one extra student? Because really, initially, even if it's just one more student, that is a success. Obviously, we want more, but that is a success. If this was a student that was deemed lost to us, and we have brought them back, we have done our job. And so I think that's really important, is that obviously as instructors and educators, we always go big, and sometimes it's hard to see the effect that we have, but remembering that we do make a difference. And this consultation and collaboration increases that so much. Always reflective. We always want to reflect on what we've done, what we've seen, what the students have done, their reactions, because if you teach something, and it could be a wonderful lesson, But if your class is not engaged, then it's still a failure because you've lost them. And I can give you an example, especially when you teach multiple blocks of the same topic, it can change by class. I remember I taught clothing design before becoming a counselor, and I had 2 blocks of it, and one class we went in, my lesson was organized, I was so proud of it, I'd worked so hard, and this class killed it. Like, they got it, they understood, they were engaged, they asked questions. And then second block, I don't know if it was getting close to lunchtime, I don't know. Maybe first block was just too tired to fight with me about it, but it was just a bomb. And right then and there, I had to reflect and observe and change my tactic. Like, we stopped. And I think I remember the kids being like, oh, thank you, this was terrible. So they feel it too. And I think they would respect you and me if we recognize, we're not gonna just push through if something's not working. And so that's really important, to be reflective and to really look. And maybe you do push through because it's just something you have to do, a topic you have to get through. But maybe your reflection is, how can I do this differently next year, or even next block, or next semester, or whatever it is that your next might be. Often two-tiered. Our consultation and collaboration is going to be classroom geared as well as student specific. Classroom geared is where we will look at the class as a whole. How are they interacting? How are they performing? How is the class engaged? How are they interacting with each other? And that's very important. We have to pay attention to those things, because if there is a negative interaction, that can very much take over a class. And then student specific, we want to make sure that we are meeting every student's needs, and that can be extremely overwhelming. With a school of 1,700 and class sizes over 35, that's a lot. And that's why we need to be a team, because it shouldn't just fall on the teacher, it shouldn't just fall on the counselor. It is a team effort. It takes a village. And so I hope what we get out of this is that we are a team, we are a family, and I think if we embrace that and move forward in that respect, the students will feel that. And that I think would increase student performance. Okay, well organized. This is important, because if you just go in, or I just go in and we just kind of throw something out there and it's not well organized and it doesn't have an agenda, so it doesn't flow or doesn't have an endpoint, things can go on and on and on. And it's important because it keeps you on track. It helps you reach your goals. Think, just like our curriculums, that's a well laid out agenda of what we're going to teach for the year.